You did what I'm saying. Good day. All hollers, I'm a counterfeit. Yeah, wanted money, I couldn't enjoy a class.
Hey guys, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's, and today we're here with another episode of Ad-libs Over Everything. It's been a while since we've done one, so basically it's just like a little podcast with me and my friends. So we got
Kanji,
Rahul,
Kato,
and we got Matt behind the camera. And today we're just gonna
should have said horrific.
and today we're just gonna go through like a list of classics, basically in response to like Dead End Hip Hop's video. I saw they had a video on like the albums. They had a discussion about classic albums, and I thought it'd be good if we did our own little input on it. So we're just gonna go through a list, probably discuss them, whether we think they will be considered classics. We might not include every album. We're just gonna do like really modern albums from modern artists. So
Mostly from 2010 on.
2010 onwards,
was
mostly.
Mood Music too?
Nah, Mood Music too. Joe Budden, not a classic.
Was that 2010? Was that after 2010 or not?
Imagine self-proclaiming you had a classic. Just in a discussion, yeah. Mood Music's a classic. Alright, so
Joe Budden's gonna come back. Dig now.
Joe Budden, that's your dig.
Watch out.
So first one, I want to kick it off with Lil Boat by Lil Yachty. Would you reckon Lil Boat would be considered a classic?
No.
we'll let you go first, Rahul.
Me.
I know you have strong feeling.
I don't know.
I don't
See, I need arguments to convince me.
Here's what I'm gonna say: if Yachty from here, if Yachty bounces back from Teenage Emotions and he stays relevant within 5 years, I think that's the kicker for Lil Boat. If we're able to say in 10 years, in 5 years, Yachty's still relevant, we will look at Lil Boat as kind of like the starter for everything. Whereas, and I think that'll be like pretend if.
Well,
Yeah, okay. Like,
Relevant.
how about someone
wait, did you want to?
Yeah, go. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay, mate. So you're saying it's like the start of the new generation, right? In terms of
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I think Lil Boat is like, out of everybody who's dropped a project, you've got Uzi, you've got 21, you've got Kodak, you've got
Cudi.
Yachty, you've got Cudi, you've got that whole new generation. Lil Boat's that one project where you can go, that's a fucking solid project from front to back. It's got a story, it's cohesive, it's an actual project.
Yeah, musically, like Lil Bo started that shift from like new age, one of new age rappers, and that new sound too. Like that sound, that Lil Bo sound was around.
But he's
like,
not representative of any of his peers.
That's it, what I was thinking was
Music-wise.
Yeah, but it's still Lil Boat may not exactly sound like everybody else, but it's still a new sound.
Lil Bo was so significant. I think that's what makes it. If it's a classic, that's what makes it a classic.
Yeah.
So significant. And like Lil Bo was that figurehead.
I guess it
Yeah.
was like
And
you
Lil
could say
Bo
it's
was like Lil Bo was the first massive project that people like looked to when they went to the new school.
Yeah.
That was it. Like that was massive.
It was a big shift
Like
in the
don't
direction.
take
Yeah, it was a big shift. That's why I think in 5 years, if Lil Yachty's still relevant and this whole class is still relevant, we will look at Lil Boat as kind of like that marker. I think for that
It's
reason.
also because Yachty is controversial.
Yeah, but Lil Boat as on its own is a fucking good project.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is a classic, but I think out of the new school, he's probably got the closest to being a classic.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was the first big project too from the new school, right?
Yeah.
It was a.
Well, Love is Rage
Love is Rage.
was released late 2015,
Okay.
but Uzi wasn't big at that
Yeah.
stage. Uzi blew up with Love is Rage, whereas Yachty blew up at Lil Boat.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on from Yachty, we'll discuss Chief Keef, Finally Rich. I think that's a classic.
I think it's personally a classic as well.
I think that can be like looked at as kind of like the marker for, similar with how Lil Boat is kind of like the marker of a generation. I think Finally Rich should be looked at as the marker of a generation, and I think Finally Rich should be.
Yeah, because that's the thing, because like you were talking about how with a Yachty, like if in 5 years time Yachty's relevant,
Yeah.
but, like would you really say that like Chief Keef is still like really relevant right now?
within
But,
rap,
like,
rap circles, I'd say is relevant.
But like not that.
even within rap circles.
Big.
But like
Arguably,
regardless of his relevance, people
Yeah.
look to that project as
Yeah.
something. That
Yeah, that's
transcended.
true.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
relevance is not a.
It's not a
not-
key,
yeah, it's not
but
the-
I think it's different
indicator.
in Lil Boat's case because like, I think people look at Finally Rich different to Lil Boat. I don't know, maybe.
So
maybe
you're saying
right.
we're not judging the album on its on the album alone, like the merits.
I think
of the
I
album.
think we
I
should,
think-
but also what the album done.
I
I
think the impact of the album plays a crucial part in it as well.
So with Boat, it has more to do with like what it represents.
With Lil Boat, I think it has more to do with what it represents, but it's also got to do with what it's up against. With Lil Boat, like 21, like nobody dropped a complete project like Lil Boat from the new school yet. I don't think anyone's dropped a project like Lil Boat. Like Uzi verse, in terms of a narrative, in terms of its cohesive sounds.
Yeah, just personally.
Personally, I prefer. Personally, I prefer Uzi versus Wood as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think Uzi's as much of a project as Lil Boat, and I think that's why
it's not as ambitious.
It's not as ambitious. I think that's why people fell in love with Lil Boat, because it's actual project. So Finally Rich, classic. Kendrick albums, we'll talk about Kendrick. I think Kendrick's got classics. Section 80, I don't reckon Section 80 is a classic.
Good Kid, for sure.
Good Kid's classic. Damn, probably considered a classic.
Damn, maybe.
I
reckon T-Pab
T-Pab,
and Good Kid are
Damn,
definitely.
man.
Damn.
I don't know about Damn.
Damn, it's very early to judge, but I think Damn will be considered a classic.
I think it will be as well. If not only, sorry to cut you off.
No.
If not only for the music, I think of what it's done for Kendrick. Kendrick's at another fucking level with Damn. Kendrick had a fucking #1. Kendrick's had so many hits from Damn. I think for what it represents for Kendrick, funny he's on the video right now. I think for what it represents, it will be considered a classic.
But then you're not going to say Views is a classic on that basis, are you?
Yeah, but the difference is Views. Damn isn't an average project.
But it's not great either.
Damn.
But
I think it's
people
good,
could
but it's
argue,
not-
but that's your opinion though.
No,
People could
compare it
argue
to
that
his
it's
other two
great.
compare it to his other two classics.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, people view Damn as it's pretty wide that Damn's the best Kendrick project. I've heard that
I
multiple
wouldn't
times.
say it's pretty wide, but
I've
it's
heard
definitely,
that. I've heard that multiple times. I've heard that.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't even think
It's
that's an
KTT?
argument.
I think it's definitely an
I
argument.
think it's the most
100%
accessible Kendrick
people.
album.
There's definitely people who would argue that Damn is his best. I'm not saying it is.
I'm not saying it is.
I'm not saying that's a wide argument. Like, it's
I don't
not the
know how you
prevalent
argue.
view.
Which one is widely considered Kendrick's?
Good Kid.
Good Kid,
I think
yeah?
it's T-Pab.
T-Pab, I'd say more than Good Kid.
I think
I
it's
guess
T-Pab.
widely considered. I reckon T-Pab, but I think
It
Good
depends
Kid
what you're talking.
is-
Rap circles, I think it's Good Kid. Music, I think it's T-Pab.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
definitely something I agree
interesting.
on.
That's
Yeah.
interesting, isn't it?
Musically,
Well,
T-Pab's
so we're sure on.
Was 100% Good Kid and T-Pab, and I
Damn,
think
maybe.
Damn maybe.
Yeah,
I wanna,
I don't know.
So next after that, we'll discuss Kanye quickly. So we've got My Beautiful Dark Twisted
Definitely.
Fantasy, 100% classic.
Yeah.
We've got Watch Your Throne. I personally think Watch Your Throne isn't a classic.
I think
I
you.
don't know,
I
like,
think. Yeah, go,
As a
go.
moment in hip hop, when
Yeah.
you look back in 20, 30, 40
Oh, yeah,
years'
that's true.
time, Watch the Throne will be one of like the biggest moments.
Who's
in
still
hip-hop.
talking about the album though?
But that's the thing. You have to take the music into account. I understand that this was two like icons, like massive. Like this was a big moment, obviously. But you've got to still look at the music.
It's like that moment was like a celebration of hip hop. Though.
Yeah, but okay, are we gonna make What a Time to Be Alive a classic?
No, but it's different. Like
How is it different?
Jay and
They're
Kanye
more
were.
iconic.
Different.
Yeah,
Jay and
they're
Kanye
different
are
levels.
universal.
They're
Well, like Future isn't as universal.
Yeah,
as
okay,
Jay
Future
and
isn't.
Kanye.
Yeah. I get what you're
Drake
saying,
is.
but I don't think. See, the difference is I can say Lil Boat. The outside helps Lil Boat, but Lil Boat on its own
On its
merits
own
is a fucking
musically
awesome
is
project.
strong.
Yeah.
Watch Your Throne on its own merits is a best and above
That's an
average.
opinion.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but it's also
It's-
a widely held
yeah.
opinion. Nobody out here is saying Watch Your Throne is a 9 out of 10 project. You reckon that's pretty widely held?
No.
Not 9 out of 10, but like...
I reckon 7.5 out of 10. That's what people generally consider
yeah.
it.
Oh, an 8 maybe.
8 maybe.
Yeah,
I don't reckon people are out here going it's a 9.
that's true.
Do you agree or disagree?
Because like, if you're saying like judging... Because if we're comparing like to Lil Boat,
Yeah.
I reckon that's like the same level to me.
Yeah, to you maybe.
Yeah.
But I think in general opinion, Lil Boat's held in a higher.
But I
I
guess
know in
that's
general
the
opinion,
standard
yeah,
people
it's
hold
hard.
Jay and
But
Kanye
but it's that's the thing. It's I don't know. I just don't think it'll be remembered as a classic.
It
But
will be remembered though. That's the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
I think it's a
Definitely.
classic.
I think it is a
hands down
classic.
it's a
I think it
Yeah,
is, yeah.
I'm not even
For sure.
I think Yeez is definitely a classic. We've got Rocky on the video. Live Love ASAP,
Yeah.
classic. 100%
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
At this stage, it's hard to deny.
Yeah.
Live Love ASAP, just for what it did in general, is a classic. Long Live ASAP,
No,
At Long Last ASAP.
it just gets worse.
Yeah.
doesn't
It just
I
gets
don't think
worse
you
and
could.
worse.
Yeah,
That's hard.
I don't think they're as weak as you
as-
say.
Yeah, they're not as weak.
Yeah,
They're
but
just
like-
not
but
as
they're
good.
not
They're just
definitely
not
not-
classics.
Compared
Definitely
to
not
Live Love was-
classics, yeah.
Oh,
Live Love was,
Definitely would have
yeah.
been classics.
Alright, so moving on. Only because we've got keep it moving. Rodeo.
Ooh.
I would say yeah.
Ooh.
Radio.
Yeah, I'd put it on
I would say, yeah.
Radio classic too.
I want to hear Rolls say it. Is
Oh,
Rodeo,
um,
is Rodeo a classic?
I guess when you look at the grand scheme of things, 'cause how long has it been now since it
2
dropped?
years.
2 years.
Doesn't
It's
really
probably the best trap album that's dropped.
Yeah, trap influence. Trap
Trap
influence.
influence.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't
yeah.
want the boys
Don't
coming at us.
with the.
Oh no, that's not real
Oh no,
trap.
that's not real
Gucci
trap.
Mane is real
Gucci
trap.
Mane made
Alright,
trap.
so it's the best trap influence project,
Yeah.
and it was
I
the
thi-
grandest.
Yeah.
And it had a narrative, so.
I reckon.
Because trap's such a huge sound in hip hop, I can't deny.
I reckon it will be looked at as like the go-to trap album. I reckon Rodeo is a classic. Acid Rap by Chance the
No.
Rapper. Oh no.
Straight off the bat.
Damn, that was a
Jeez.
fast no. That was just like cut
Yeah.
it down straight away. I think Color and Book won't be looked at as a classic.
Nah,
Too weak of a project.
well, it's not weak.
It's not
but
weak, it's just
It's not on
Less
that
It's got
too
too many.
unique,
It's
it's-
got too many detractors.
Yeah.
Like there's too many people who don't rate coloring book, especially
Yeah.
within rap,
Yeah.
for it not to be.
I think
classic.
Acid Rap will be looked at.
So do I. I think
I think
even
it'll be
now
looked
it's
at-
being sort
I
of
reckon
not necessarily classic, but people like love acid rap. Acid rap's like
Yeah.
no one. You don't see many people bashing acid rap, like if ever. And
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah,
who
I've
talks
seen
about acid rap, like
But what
talks
about
about how
what
great it
does
is.
that tape represent?
I
Is
think
it
that's-
symbolic of anything.
I think Amine is heavily influenced off Acid Rap. I think I've got.
but
other
acid
people-
rap was that new Chicago sound, like
Yeah.
breaking out though.
Yeah.
Like
The whole Saber.
But that
Yeah.
sound has
The
kind
Saber,
of like,
but
that's
at the
the
same time,
Saber,
that
like-
sound hasn't.
it never took off.
Yeah,
bro.
It really never
I
took off.
agree with
But
that.
I still think, and it also represents the side of Chance. Like Chance is destined to be the biggest hip hop artist in 5 years.
Big call.
No,
Out of
I think-
the
I
new
think
school,
he's
out of the new school,
Yeah.
out
As
of
of right
Travis,
now, I reckon
Migos,
he's the most
Thug.
Wait, you
likely.
think he's gonna be bigger than Trav?
Yeah.
He's already
I-
bigger than Trav. He's
already-
probably. I'd say he's
He
bigger than
dropped
Trav.
one project and he's already.
Yeah,
selling out
that's the thing. He's got
stadiums.
Yeah.
that mainstream like,
Appeal to him. That's
Yeah.
next level.
and he's like everywhere essentially. Like
I think even as a project, like
Yeah.
even disregarding that, Acid Rap's a fucking good project.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And the thing is, it's so unique. Nothing has and nothing will sound like Acid Rap. I think Acid Rap will be considered
I
classic.
agree.
If it's not now, I think give it 5 years and we'll look back at Acid Rap as definitely, even from the new school. Like, you know how we'll talk about Lil Boat. What project could stand up to Acid Rap? Rodeo,
1999.
1999. Migos haven't dropped a project as good as that. Chief Keef hasn't dropped a project. Finally Rich, but I'd say Acid Rap's probably a better project than Finally Rich. You know, okay, we've all agreed. I don't know why I'm still going on.
not all.
Who else do you want to unlock that? Who else do we have to discuss?
Danny.
Danny.
Triple
Triple
X,
X,
I reckon.
definitely.
Triple
Yeah.
X is a
Atrocity, I would
classic.
say as well.
Atrocity
Atrocity, I reckon,
could
classic as well.
right now. You guys are Danny stan, so it's hard for you guys to be objective. But yeah, no, I agree. XXS is a classic, and AE I'd say maybe 5 years
Yeah.
will be looked at on similar levels. Future has Future got a classic?
Arguably DS2.
Future's got a classic run, but has he got a classic on its own?
That's the thing. It's a project thing. It's not just a run.
yeah.
It's tough.
No.
I personally don't think DS2 is the classic. If Future was to have a classic, I think it'd be one of his mixtapes.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like 56 Nights is probably my favorite, but I think Monster's kind of like the fan favorite of Beast Mode. It's tough. I think the mixtape run is classic, but I don't know if he's got that project. I don't know if it will ever have that project. But it's so hard because the word classic is thrown around. Like, you could call any of his projects a classic. You could call DS2. You could be on a hip hop forum. You could be on KTT or YTLG or whatever and just say DS2 is a classic. 56 Nights a classic, and people will agree with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's hard when you look at it. Would you compare DS2 to a project like Acid Rap? Or like Rodeo?
yeah.
But I think like with a lot of the projects that we've already discussed, it's not just like that they're good albums. It's that they actually represent something.
That's your
Like
that's why I say I reckon
like
Future's
they're monumental.
yeah. That's why I say like Future's got a classic run.
I think the Future drops so much,
But
that
I guess it's-
and his sound doesn't like. I
Evolve.
guess he's got those two sides. He's got that trap and that more melodic,
That
like
he's
Future
doing
and
now.
Hendrix.
Yeah.
But he drops so much. He hasn't got that.
That
I guess, like,
lasting
yeah.
power almost
Yeah.
to like
I guess-
stick with you.
Well,
Like he's
what we're-
consistent.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
He's very
So what
good.
I was
Very
gonna say is,
consistently drops good projects.
It just because an artist is so influential and they've done so much for the genre doesn't mean they have a classic.
Yeah, I agree.
So like, because sometimes we feel like because an artist has done so much, we have to
give them a
Give
classic.
them a classic.
Drake's like
So
the
it's-
best example of that.
Oh,
essentially.
well,
But then it's arguable. Does
I
he
reckon
have
Drake
a
has a
classic?
classic, but
Yeah.
and then another one. I don't know. Maybe this is disrespectful, but Gucci,
I don't know.
because like
I don't think any of us can discuss Gucci though.
Yeah.
yeah,
not
exactly.
We don't know
yeah.
enough of Gucci
Yeah,
to
that's true.
We don't like we know his new stuff, but like we don't know his old stuff
Yeah.
like
We don't
that.
know
So it'd be
the-
disrespectful to discuss Gucci. Does Future have a classic on her end? Yes or no?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't reckon either. Maybe a classic mixtape. I'd say the mixtape run is classic.
100%.
No, the run is classic. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but
Yeah, I don't know.
as Kato was
Maybe
saying, standalone body of work.
I don't know.
'Cause you
I'd put one of those I'd put at least one of those mixtapes as a classic. That's just me. All right, Young Thug.
Because like that's kind of like similar to Future in my opinion. Like if you talk about legendary runs, the Slime Season run is like
I think personally, Barter 6 is a personal classic, but I don't think Young Thug is a classic.
I don't think Thugger is a classic.
yeah, Barter 6 would be the closest.
Yeah. So I don't think Thug is a
I think the
classic.
leaks killed him.
Yeah, the leaks fucking
Like that
destroyed
Slime
him.
Season run he could have had a classic
Yeah,
lick in
Slime
those
Season
songs.
run.
Yeah,
But
Crazy.
he never got there.
Even his run now, man. Because I really like what is it?
Beautiful
Yeah,
Thug
it's
Girls.
good.
Yeah.
all right.
She's crazy. Drake,
Kid Cudi.
Cudi. See, I haven't listened to a lot
Yeah.
of Cudi, so
Yeah,
it's
it's hard. I think I'm the only one out of the group that's like a
Yeah.
huge Cudi fan. Of course, I'm biased. I think Men of the Moon 1 and 2 are classics.
I've heard people.
But like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
It's more two than one.
Yeah, two's
Yeah.
really fucking good.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think definitely 2 because 1 was released in 2009 if I'm not mistaken, or 2010. I think it's a good classic, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like people generally do agree that Cudi's got a classic though, at least
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I think that's everybody.
Drake.
I think Take Care is a classic.
Yeah. Yeah. I've said it for a while.
No?
I think. Are you serious?
I'm mixed about the catch.
You don't reckon Take Care's
See,
a
the thing is,
classic?
Take Care is one of those ones where it's like I can understand people both ways. If somebody told me Rodeo isn't a classic, I would argue with them and I'd
but
disagree
you're a
with them.
Travis Stan.
Yeah, but it's different. Okay, yeah, it's different. But like, it's different. But like,
there's more there on Take Care to say that there
That's
is
the thing.
points to say that it isn't a classic.
the thing is,
I
it
guess-
is literally a fact that it's too long.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of weight. It's got.
You don't reckon?
Two,
what is
three-
it? Not Nightcore. What's that track? I Be Flying High.
I reckon that's
Flying
that's the
High?
thing.
yeah,
I'd
but
say
it's
that's
14.
one
It's
song.
14 tracks versus 19 that was on
19,
Take Care. Take Care has bro. I'm arguing that Take Care is a classic, but what I can
Bro,
say
Take Care's
is
not as cohesive as Rodeo.
nah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I can.
What it did for the sound, man.
Yeah,
think
that's what I
why-
agree.
that's
Did
why
I send
you
you my
would-
piece? Did I send you my?
Maybe you did.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe-
know.
I think that's
maybe,
why.
yeah.
That's the reason you would call it a classic. Like,
That's the thing. The influence is just so big on it, but I think it's a classic.
Wait, is Take Care the one that people say basically Abel gave it to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
But regardless,
that's another argument.
But like that's all speculative. People say that Cudi gave Kanye all of their
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, but like,
isn't
do
it-
you believe that?
Yeah, no,
What
I don't
about the
believe
Drake
it.
thing? Do you
But,
believe
like,
that?
I think
No,
no,
but
but I think it depends.
You can't. The project itself, as you were saying, the standalone, I reckon is a classic because of what it's done. Tiller wouldn't exist if not for Take Care.
Yeah, 100%. All these new R&B artists from Toronto
Nav?
wouldn't exist. Nav wouldn't exist. Yeah, so like Take Care kind of like created, not
Yeah,
created
like,
Toronto, but it put it on the
That
map.
sound is so like prevalent now. Like even through like OVO, all their artists make that similar
That sound,
But
yeah.
then there's people who aren't in their group who are making that sound.
So you're arguing for or against? I thought you were against.
Like that's that's why you would call it a classic, just because of its
Yeah.
impact. But on the
Yeah.
project alone, like I guess you could argue that the length,
Is an
the,
issue.
the filler
Yeah.
songs, I guess.
That's the
yes,
biggest thing.
would-
And the
would
thing, it's so
detract.
fucking long, dude. It's like
Yeah.
an hour and a half, hour 20. But it's so hard because then people want Drake
I
to
actually think
lose.
it might actually
People
be
want Drake to lose. Half of you out there probably hate Drake.
Was
Like-
Take Care even drop 2010? After 2010?
Yeah, 2011.
Did it?
2011.
2011.
2011 or 2012.
Yeah.
2011 or 2012. People want Drake to lose. And I think it's a thing where it's like, people just don't want to give Drake his props.
Yeah.
People love to hate Drake, especially right now. But I think in 10 years' time, I still
Yeah,
think
I actually think it would be a classic.
we've
now.
converted one. Kanji,
Yeah,
have we converted
yeah.
the second?
No.
Okay, so
Just for
go.
influence alone.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright.
I think the project itself is not strong enough.
Yeah. I
What
think
about if you're reading this?
if reading this is too late.
Oh, I like that one.
I like that a lot. I don't
That's
think
it,
I like
that
that
more than
that's-
Take Care.
yeah.
That's like
But you have to judge that on that. It didn't reach I guess it was a rap community. It was more of a rap community. Like the rap community loved If You're Reading This.
Yeah.
But did it reach everyone that?
I think if Take Care had the same quality as If You're Reading This, and then with its impact, then it would be a classic.
I don't know about that. You can say you like. At the end of the day, people don't look at Take Care as If You're Reading This as Drake's best album. People look at Take Care as Drake's best album.
Like, even now, I feel like it ties on to what we were saying. I feel like we're being overcritical on Drake because for some albums, like acid rap, we were given it based on like certain criteria. So the album standalone is good. Its influence isn't that large.
Yeah.
You said it, mean that's probably it, right?
Yeah.
Take Care literally influenced like 5-10 artists out there.
Like without Take Care, there's literally
why are we
no
so
sound.
critical on Drake? It's so
I know,
annoying.
I agree.
Nah,
Alright, so
probably-
Take Care is probably a classic.
Yeah.
And I think that's all we had for today. Yeah, that's all. Probably we missed probably a couple albums. Pinata, I'll mention quickly. Pinata, I think Pinata would be looked at as kind of like a Mad Villainy in a sense. Don't want to compare it to Mad Villainy, but like in a sense where it's like it's an underground classic. Like it'll be looked at in 10 years as kind of like respect. It'll just have that respect. Like you mentioned Mad Villainy. Mad Villainy's got a respect. I think Pinata will just have that respect. I think Pinata's a classic. I think that's all for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. We've got
Rupert,
Rahul,
Kato.
Matt behind the camera, Dylan. Make sure to follow me on all social medias. Let us know what you think about the albums. We probably missed a couple artists or something like that, but I think we got the majority of them. Thanks a lot for watching. Ad-libs Over Everything.